Here we are, we've made it to Poland. Yeah, we're being picked up by Mama and Tata, and now we're driving to. Where are we going? Drawno. When I say the trees are straight in Poland, look how straight these trees are, yeah. Okay, so here we are in Poland, yeah. My wife's parents live in a place called DRAWNO, and DRAWNO is just on the edge of a national park. Her parents used to be park keepers, yeah. So we're gonna just have a bit of a walk around. We're just gonna go down here, and we're gonna have a look at the just a park just down the road and a lake. But this is the entire national park here, and we're at the where are we? We're at the top corner up here, Drawno. Yeah. We might have a look at the rest of the national park later in the week, but today we're just gonna go for a bit of a walk. So we've arrived. We've arrived in Drawno, and we're at the lake. Gravina?
What?
Name of the lake?
Grażyna.
Grażyna. Yep, and the air is so still. Yeah, there's no wind, there's no breeze at all. The lake's just like glass. I don't think I've ever seen a lake so smooth. I've got a bit of cloud, but it's nice and warm. We'll have a bit of sun tomorrow. But yeah, Poland's just wonderful. You can see the rings in the water. That's fish coming up to the surface. Yeah. The water's that still that you can see every individual fish coming up. Here we go. I don't know how well the camera's actually going to pick this up, but we've got a lot of water boatmen here. Can you see them all just floating on top of the water? These are snapdragons. I made a video recently, and we've obviously got snapdragons in the UK. We found some in Wilton Park. I was having a bit of a conversation with someone from America, and they obviously have a lot of snapdragons in America as well, near New York. And here they are in Poland. They just seem to be everywhere, don't they? As we walk around the lake, we find a lot of these jetties, yeah. There's a lot of fishing that goes on here. Just have a walk on this one. It can get a bit slippy. There's been a bit of rain recently, so yeah, the wood's very slippy, so I'll just go steady. It's wonderfully peaceful. It's almost silent. The only thing you can hear is just tweets, the birds. Okay, so Ula tells me this land has recently been procured. This land was for sale for a long time. 10 million zloty or something like that. Yeah, and it's recently been procured, but they haven't done anything with it. I was thinking, it'd be a great place for an hotel, wouldn't it? I can imagine an hotel here. So, Drawno. It's obviously got this lovely lake here, which there's a lot of fishing, and then there's a lot of water sports and activities. You can rent boats and kayaks, and you can go paddle across the river, or you can go kayaking down the rivers that are offshooting off this lake. And then there's also the forests and the woods and the national parks around here. But Ula tells me there's no hotels. Yeah, seems like a fantastic business opportunity. Yeah. Let's have a walk down here anyway. A lot of the lakes in Poland are actually used by the public. You know, that they'll use the water. A lot of them have like beaches. I'm not sure if they're natural or the man-made, but we'll have a walk down here and have a look at one. It's not really the best day for beaching today, so probably won't find many people here. Okay. Ula saying she used to spend some of her childhood on this beach. No, it's not obviously the nicest beach in the world, but do we have much like this in England? Well, not anywhere near where I live. We've got a few lakes and reservoirs and stuff like that, but We just don't seem to use the water.
There used to be like a little bridge going in here as well.
Okay, like a little pier.
Yeah.
It's quaint, isn't it? So what's the date today? It's coming up to September. Not entirely sure. 29th. Yeah, and the water's still warm. We were going to go kayaking, but unfortunately, yeah, the plans have changed. So we're going to we'll probably just rent a paddle boat, like a boat what you cycle, like a bike boat. A what? A water bike. There we go. We'll probably rent a water bike with the family and have a bit of a paddle around this tomorrow. Oh, a little grass snake there. It's just took one look at us, and
nope.
Yeah, it got very shocked for a second, and it did some wiggles, and then it's just shot off. Okay, we're still by the side of the lake, but we're getting to a bit of a more managed bit here. We've got a graveyard cemetery up here. Maybe we could just have a quick look at that. There we go. Now, if you look at the graves, look at them all in fantastic condition. You know, it seems like the Polish respect the dead a great deal more than we respect them in England. Yeah, you know, a lot of these graves are quite old. It's quite a nice place to be buried, isn't it, really? Right next to the lake. But yeah, it's a little bit more managed around here. We've got a bit of a wider path, a little easier to navigate with children's activities all around. Yeah, we're coming to a sports field. Ula were telling me last time we came, there was a really big music concert,
Festival.
Yeah, festival, and a lot of Polish artists. Now, if you haven't heard Polish music, it's absolutely fantastic. One of my favourite guitarists, Marcin, he's Polish, you know, and he's globally renowned. You know, there's something about the Poles that they've got a quality I don't really see in other people. Very creative, but also very respectful. I don't know, there's something about the Poles I really like. Okay, here we go. This is the sort of the maintained beach, yeah, of the lake. Some nice clean sand. Okay, we're just walking back down the main strip of DRAWNO. But we're still by the side of the park we were at before, and there's a war memorial here. You know, it's different in it to what we'll get in the UK. It's a lot more simple. I think Ula's going to let us know what it's saying. Gonna do a bit of translating for us.
Kamień pojednania ku pamięci naszych zmarłych. So it's a unity stone to remember both Polish people and the Germans that used to live in here.
So it's respecting both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, in England, we only respect our own, don't we? The people of Britain and the people in the Commonwealth and the Allies and stuff. But you know, this stone is respecting the Polish and the Germans. Okay, the phone's inside a waterproof case, so I don't know how well this is going to record or hear my voice, but here we go. So we're going paddle boating, yeah, pedal boating, whatever you want to call it. We're going on the lake, and apparently it's going to start thundering soon, so this is going to be exciting, as long as the heavens don't open and we get absolutely blasted. I think we're going to be alright. We're just going to choose which boat we're going on. I think the red one's the best one. We'll see.
We can go for the blancas if the dryest.
You reckon?
It's a
this one's better.
You want the blue one? Yep, okay, I'm going the blue one then. Damn it, I want the red one. Yep, you're right. You're right. Yeah, well, sorry. Right, my turn. Okay, here we go. My feet don't even fit inside these bloody stupid pedals, but we're going. Woo. This is terrified. Still just loving it in our element. We got told to stay away from the centre, so we're going to go down the coast. There's a lot of splashing around here, a lot of fishes. Yeah. Okay, so this is a big old storm rolling in here. We've just been given a warning off Mama. We've only just got in this rubbish. So we'll turn around in 2 minutes. Here it comes, the storm. You see the water drops on the water, and if you look right down there, you can start. Well, can't really pick up on the phone, but you can see some volumetric lighting. Yeah, you can see the raindrops. The Wrath of Jehovah chasing us. The Wrath of Allah. Okay, we got about a quarter of an hour into us now a lot of time, and is terrified. The winds are picking up, the rain's starting. Can you see all the waves down there? Yeah, the storm's coming in now. It's pretty much overhead. We'll just give it up as a bad job, unfortunately. Oh well. So here we are, it's Sunday in Poland, and it is glorious. This is the view from my parent-in-law's flat in Poland. Yeah, a wonderful day. I'm going to take us to the Kingdom Hall for a meeting with Jehovah. Yeah, but yeah, if there's a God, he's doing a good job here. Okay, after getting sunburnt on the beach yesterday, we're just having a lazy day at DRAWNO, where my in-laws live. We're just having a walk around the local area. We had a walk around the lake earlier in the week, and now we're going to have a walk around the forested area and see what we can see. There's lots of dragonflies. I don't know if I can pick them up on the camera because they're a little bit too quick for me to. I don't know if you can see this. We've got a bunch of hens in the road. Now that's truly free range, isn't it? You can just wander out into the forest. Okay, we're just a little bit further into the forest. Just walking down this track. Now this seems like more typical unmanaged Polish forest. You know, obviously there's a lot of straight up and down trees which have been recently planted, you know, in the harvest and whatever. But this looks more like a natural forest, what you'd find. Yeah, this grows naturally. But you notice like the trees are still very straight. More snapdragons. Yeah, you don't usually see any fly tipping or any waste or any litter at all around Poland. Now there's a couple of tyres here. Looks like some people might have brought them out for seating or something like that, who knows. Apparently there's some alcoholics that live just up the road, so there were a bit of litter and a bit of fly tipping around there. property, but generally, you know, everywhere's kept really clean. You know, the streets, you just don't see litter. It's a breath of fresh air. You don't really see people going around cleaning it up either. It's just people just don't drop it. You know, people respect their environment around here. And it's same for all Poland. Like you very rarely see any messes. You know, you even rarely see any graffiti or anything like that. Any vandalism. You might see some elements of poor maintenance. You might see some houses in, you know, poor states of repair and stuff. Or, you know, some of the roads can be a bit potholy or bouncy, shall we say. But, you know, generally everything's kept in good order. Doesn't look like anyone's been through here in a while. Yeah, it's a bit of a wet and rainy day today, but it's still nice and warm. Feels like being in a sauna. It's about 20 degrees. Okay, ready. We've got a nice house here, made out of timber. I don't know, I wouldn't mind getting lost in Poland, to be honest.
You know,
If I was going to get lost anyway, I'll get lost in Poland.
Land.
Yeah.
We're on the edge of that neighborhood. To the left, it's all the new houses.
Yeah, here we go. It's a nice house. So that's one thing to note in Poland. All the houses are basically built. Yeah, you don't generally buy a house. You'll buy some land, and then you'll build your house to your spec, exactly how you want it. Yeah, and you end up with some interesting houses. Now, there's a lot of similarities in between all of these houses, but again, there's also a lot of uniqueness. Now, this is quite an elegant house. It looks like they've you know, put a lot of time and effort into it. Yeah, you see a lot in this magnolia yellow colour as well. Seems quite a popular colour. Yeah, you see a lot of white houses. You see just lots of just rendered houses without any paint on, and yeah, a lot of this like magnolia colour.
And that's all on there?
Yeah, and my wifey comes with some Polish land. Yeah, she's got a plot of land here. So all around Poland, you'll just find areas like this, just fenced off areas, and these are building plots. Find one you want, pay some money, and build a house. Yeah, away you go. So Ula's is the far one. There's a plot here, and then there's a plot at the back. And that's Ula's. So maybe one day we'll put something on there, or maybe we'll sell it and find a different plot and put something on that. But I think we're definitely going to be coming here. Yeah. Okay, so we're in DRAWNO, and this is the sign or whatever. Yeah. When we get here, yeah, the DRAWNO sign. But the mascot of the area is gnomes. So if you notice, it's in the style of a gnome. What's it saying there? So DRAWNO Vita.
Welcomes.
So DRAWNO welcome. Well, welcome to DRAWNO. Yeah. This is the main road of DRAWNO. Yeah. This is the busy part. Yeah. Look how quiet it is. I could live here. Yeah, hunting is quite popular. Yeah, people will hunt for meat, not for fun, but for meat to eat. So you do see a lot of things like this, trophies. You know, and it might be a little vulgar for some, but you soon get used to it. And it's just it's the ways of life, innit? But yeah, most of the houses people build are like 1.5 stories. You have a 1 story, and then you have a a room or two upstairs in the attic. Yeah, everyone goes for a slightly different design. It's quite an unusual shape, isn't it? Like a bell.
Like an old German house.
So it's an old German house. We've got another one over there. How far from the German border are we?
3 hours.
Yeah, so we are pretty close to the German border. We're in a place called West Pomerania. So it's the opposite side to the the Russian side. So it's there's a safe side of Poland. It's this side, I suppose. But here's a massive biological army military site just outside of DRAWNO. So I don't know if that makes it safer or less safe.
You can hear bombs going and tanks shooting because they have practice in a polygon in here.
Whoa. Yeah, we drove past the military base yesterday and it looks like they were having some manoeuvres. We didn't see any tanks or anything like that, but we saw lots of trucks full of soldiers. Maybe they're all going to the border, maybe they're getting ready, who knows. Okay, so we just walked past another plot here. I don't think this is a house. I think someone's supposed to build a shack here. Maybe, for whatever reason, it's a garage or whatever they want. But there's a limit. So in England, you'd have this plot of land here, and the whole idea would be to try and get as many houses on that as possible. Maybe you get 2 or 3, 4, who knows how many you'd get in England. But there's a limit in Poland. I think you can only take up, say, 25%, is it?
Oh, less. In the city, it's 25-30%, like my land have 30%. But if you have a big plot of land, it's usually between 5 to 10%.
Yeah, so that means you can only build on that percentage of land, so the rest of it has to be garden or green space. So, it maintains this villagey, open, green aesthetic. It's healthy. There's space for nature to grow in between all the humans. Yeah, it's healthy, it's good. I like it. I
call those houses little mushrooms.
Yeah, these little mushroom houses, what it says. But yeah, this is quite nice. You see a lot of them with these shiny tiles on. In England they use quite dull, like maybe the ones underneath these panels here.
That was old. That was the first house on that street. It was like 20 years ago.
Alright, okay, this is the first one that was put up. I like the wood sort of canopy over the side of the house, quite nice.
That used to belong to the DRAWNO's president.
Right. Okay, yeah, so, even the mayor, the president of the town, they don't have big aspirations, the house is big enough for what they need, it's not a big mansion, is it? Yeah. So, yeah, just going back to this though, they've got very shiny tiles on them, and I like them. Almost sort of camouflages it into the sky a little bit, it's just not quite as intrusive. It's quite a good look. Yeah, another yellow house. Looks quite summery. And then we've got a house here. It's looks like it's been constructed. It's just needing some render on the outsides of it. So it looks like it's been manufactured out of breeze block. But yeah, soon to be done. And then we've got this interesting house as well. It's got a really nice roof on it. Yeah. This one's got a little balcony. Yeah, that's it. It's got an Australian vibe. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but my mum used to watch Home and Away. Yeah, she used to be on telly when I were at home, and it just reminds me of Home and Away, I suppose. That means out to you. These are some nice conifers, aren't they? I always cut them. But yeah, there does seem to be a little bit more of artistic flair. Like I say, everyone's building their own houses to their own designs. When you go through the villages, I ain't got much footage of it, but most of the little villages will have a square in the middle, and there'll be lots of just crafted art, nothing special, but something like sculptures made out of wood, or just I don't know, weird roots that they've found, and then it might look like a dog or something like that, so they'll dress it as a bit of a dog. Like, there just seems to be a little bit more room for artistic flair and creativity in people's common spaces. You know, we'll have graffiti, won't we? Or we'll have a bunch of fly tipping, and that's what we get to look at. But you know, in Poland, you get to look at pretty things. Less visual disturbances. Down to a little stream, unmanaged. Unmanaged bridge, yeah.
Remember one winter we're going to my friends across the street there with my mom, and she decided to wear heels. There was lots of snow, and she slid right down here on her butt all the way there.
Whee! Perhaps you just wanted to get there quickly. Excited. Okay, we're back to Ula's parents' flat. Yeah. The fruit is bountiful in Poland. Yeah, there's just trees everywhere, full of fruit. Yeah, so much it just falls on the ground. Yeah, there's just an abundance of it. You know, you'd do well to go hungry in Poland. There's just that much food, just abundant. Yeah, playing on swings, and this is where Ula's parents live. So it's a flat, sure. You see a lot of flats in Poland, you know, but again, people are quite happy to live like this. You know, they're nicely done out inside. Ula's parents are park keepers, park wardens, so they actually get their flat for free. It's just part of the job. It just comes with the job. Okay, we've reached the centre of DRAWNO, and I was going to straight across this road to the fountain to have a look at that, but Ula reminded me there's no jaywalking in Poland. Yeah, you can't just cross the street. Yeah, there's a crossing, you got to use it, and if the policeman sees you crossing without using it, you'll get told off. It's a strange looking thing, isn't it? Maybe Ula's got an idea what's going on here, because I'm not too sure. Any idea why it's shaped like that? No.
Looks like swan.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, kind of looks like some birds looking up. A little sundial here. So we see these two dates quite a lot in DRAWNO. I'm not entirely sure what happened in 1313. You know. Okay, so yeah, DRAWNO was established in 1313, so it looks like they had their 700th year anniversary. This is one thing to note about Poland. It's a very, very old country. It's got its own rich history. Yeah, I used to think it had you know, a lot of connections to Russia, and it was just maybe an offshoot of Russia, but it's not whatsoever. Like
DRAWNO, Germany.
Yeah, DRAWNO used to be part of Germany, but Poland has been a country for a very, very, very long time. It's an ancient place with its own history. You know, it's not just an offshoot of Russia. It's not just some random European country. You know, it's a very old established place. Yeah, so here we've got some more gnomes, which are the mascots of DRAWNO. We've got an old church here. It's going to be a Catholic church. It's the major religion in Poland is Catholicism. Ula was telling me this tower was recently rebuilt. It was rebuilt a couple of years ago, so that's why it's looking so in such good condition. Yeah, so fresh.
Actually pretty, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I like the checkered design. I like the roof on it. There we go. Okay, and it looks like we've got I'm not sure, it's going to be some sort of saint or something. It's carved into wood. But like I say, every little village or settlement you come across, they'll have like a bit of a square, and they'll all have carvings. Anything else? I've got some stained glass windows here, but we're not really going to be able to see them too well from the outside. Okay. There is obviously some ugly in Poland. Yeah, we found an ugly building here. Ula tells me it used to be a milk factory, but it's just been abandoned for years. And unfortunately, it's right in the centre. But right next door, we've got this nice building. I like this. Let's get right up there. Nice canopy. That woodwork. It's kind of difficult to capture because it's so dark. Okay, then we've got this nice brick building here with its solid foundations. You know, but this will just be some sort of standard municipal building. You know, it won't be anything fancy. It won't be for a lord or a king or anything like that. But look at it. Look at its design. Look at the brickwork. Yeah. Like, look at the arched windows. You know, we could build buildings like this, no problem whatsoever. We've got the technology. Yeah, would it really be that much more difficult than just building a straight up and down brick wall? Well, maybe the first one you built, maybe, but you know, once you're in the habit of building pretty things like this, you'll naturally just gravitate to building stuff like this. Yeah. And I find this more inspiring than just a straight up and down whatever this is. Yeah. The difference is night and day, isn't it? Okay, looks like we've got a memory from the war. Looks like it used to be a synagogue here. So the synagogue in DRAWNO, built in the second half of the 19th century, 1880s, destroyed in 1938. Obviously, yeah. A postcard probably from 1935, yeah. And this is what's left. Yeah, the results of fascism. Here we're coming up to some old ruins. I believe used to be a brick castle, but there's very... Which castle?
Neubadel.
Neubadel.
So DRAWNO used to be called Neubadel, so those were the owners that, you know, rich family owned those.
Yeah.
Grounds.
And this was their home, their castle. Yeah. Okay, and I presume it were knocked down in the war?
I think it was before.
Okay. So yeah, it's not a great deal to see up here, but we'll have a look because we're here. These steps have seen better days. I don't really see much point maintaining these steps when there's not much to see up here, so it makes sense, doesn't it?
Isn't here like nursery party with the face paintings and family runs and all of that
Okay,
stuff.
so yeah, they'll still use it for activities.
But
you know, there's some history here. Yeah, there might not be much to see, but this place, this area, still has had an impact in the past. Yeah, might not be much left of it. The last time we came up here, these bushes weren't quite so tall, so you could have yeah, there's some beautiful views of the lakes. Yeah, maybe we'll just climb on top of here. There's a bit of litter around here, which is surprising. You don't usually find much litter in Poland, but here we are. No, I can't see it. It's all grown up since last we were here. Okay, we're in the poor end of DRAWNO, who was telling me, but still, you know, we've got some nice buildings. Might be needs some maintenance, sure, but yeah, it's got like an awarding style to it. Apparently it's a bank. But yeah, this is like the poorer end. Not much money gets spent around here. This is the post office, which is downstairs, and there's some flats upstairs, but again, it's a nice interesting building. You know, look at the bricks I've chosen to use here. It's not much, yeah, it's just like a checkered design, a red brick, a black brick, a red brick, a black brick. With a bit of form to it, but you know, you won't see any bricks like this used nowadays, will you? Well, like look at even these gratings down here. No, it's not an overly complex design, but they've decided to put some twists in the uprights, and we've got some swirlies, and then we've got some wigglers at the top. You know, it's just a bit of something. Yeah? Something's better than nothing. Okay, we've come to a memorial garden. No. Yeah, I've got to say the memorial does look very brutalist. Yeah, if that's the right word. Modernist. Yeah, it's just a brutal look, but you know, it was a brutal time. Maybe Ula can just read what's written on it.
It's 1945 till 1975, the 30th anniversary of DRAWNO's freedom.
The 30th anniversary of
Freedom.
Yes, okay, so it's after the war, so the war ended in 1945, and in 1975 they erected this to celebrate being free for 30 years. Yeah, it's not much, but it's something. Obviously the war had a massive impact on Poland, you know, obviously it got trounced pretty much immediately, didn't it? And then it was torn in between Germany and Russia, just a bit like Germany itself was. It took a long time to sort of re-establish the borders to what they are now. Sorry?
Three of them. Austria, Germany, and
Yeah, so yeah, even Austria had the hand in Poland as well. So obviously it took a long while to get re-established. They lost a lot of land as well. Poland did used to be a lot bigger before the war. Over the centuries it just seems to have got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. But hopefully it's going to stay how it is now forever. Depends on what Putin's got to say, doesn't it? Okay, and this is an education centre. Yeah, we've been inside, it's wonderful. They've got lots of exhibits just describing the nature and the wildlife around the local area. Yeah, we're in a national park essentially, so you know they'll bring school kids here just to discuss, well, to learn about the local area and the wildlife. But yeah, if you do get an opportunity to come to DRAWNO, I'll check this place out, especially if you've got kids. Yeah. Okay, this is the main lake in DRAWNO called Grezina, and we're just going to have a walk back to Ula's parents' flat. We'll just do one of these. Oh, okay. I thought this were a bird box, but yeah, this is just a public book exchange. Yeah. What have we got in here? We got this guy, yeah, with his Anna, apparently. So if you want to have a read of that, that's where it is. Yep. All right. Yeah, nice weeping willow here. A lot of the plants and wildlife are very similar to what we would get in England. Yeah, there just seems to be more of it here. Yeah, you get things like in this national park, we actually have some predators. We have wolves, we have wild boar, we have snakes, and we have a bison, the Polish bison called zebra. Yeah, I'm yet to see one, but before I die, I want to see a zebra. I want to see a zebra in Poland. So you know, you've got to be careful. You know, a lot of these houses in the middle of nowhere, there's a lot, you know, obviously a lot in the forest and stuff, and you know, they'll have guns. You know, they'll have guns for hunting, and you know, ultimately for protection. You know, never used on people, but you know, when you've got predators around, you've got to stay safe. You know. So you can see just like a typical Polish. Well, it's kind of like, well, it's obviously someone's garden, but it's also like an allotment. You'll see this quite a lot. You know, they'll use the garden to actually grow crops. You know, they've got some flowers. This person looks like they're more interested in a flower bed, but you know, I can see some crops in there as well. Yeah, looks like we've got a plum tree here. Yeah, full, absolutely chock-a-block with them. Yeah, here we go. Just a more allotment gardens. There's a bunch of apples on this tree, a bunch more on this one. Some fertile soil around here. Yeah, some pears. Again, just another bed there for crops, whatever. There we can see a little bit of the lake. The last time we came to Poland, there weren't so many reeds growing up. You could see quite a lot all the way around the lake, but you can't really see much of the lake nowadays. You'll see a lot of these jetties. Yeah, there's a lot of people come to fish in Poland. They've got to take it, you need a licence to fish on the lake.
Yes.
Yeah, but a lot of people do have the licence, you do see a lot of people fishing.
You can hear the school.
Yeah, I'm coming up to the school. I'm not obviously going to film it, but wouldn't you love to come to school somewhere like this? I would. They spend a lot of time outside and studying the nature. They've got their own own docks down here with boats, sailboats and all that. It's all part of the curriculum. Yeah, here we go. So this is the part of the school's grounds, and as you can see, we've got some kayaks here. We've got some sailboats, and some decent boats out there as well with a cabin and everything. Yeah, it's very serene, so quiet. I can hear maybe a motor running it back. Maybe someone's just starting up the motorbike or something like that. But it's
Like a wood chopper.
Oh, I've got the wood chopper out. But yeah, it's usually just completely and utterly silent. It's lovely. An excellent place to come and think. Okay, me and Ula have walked past this bush many times, yeah, and we're yet to be able to figure out why he's decided to cut it like this. Yeah. Any ideas? Any clues? I presume it's got something to do with this wall, because the wall ends and then this and then this. Yeah. Answers in the comments if you've got any idea. This guy's got a nice greenhouse here. Looks like an air raid shelter, doesn't it?
Tomatoes, yes.
Yeah, he's got his tomatoes and obviously all his crops growing. Yeah, and his nice timber work. Yep. There we go. We're back to the beach from a couple of days ago. And we'll just go down here because it's quite a nice sign. I quite like this sign down here. Yeah, here we go. This got a picture of a walrus and it's saying, "Watch out for walrus." Yeah, there's no walrus here, but yeah, can you? Have you seen the Polish men with the big bellies?
No, it's because walrus in Poland that you call people who go swimming in the winter walrus.
Oh, there we go.
That's why.
So we've learnt something. Yeah, Ula's mum got a habit of going swimming in the middle of winter. Yeah, braver than me.
I used to swim with her.
Right, okay, and yeah,
Long time ago.
and you look good, don't you? So maybe there's something to it. Perhaps you should all be swimming in winter. I've heard that it's good for your circulation. Okay, so we've just walked up from the beach and we've come through a wooded area, and there's a bunch of signs here. But if you recognise here, this is the ruins of the castle, what we saw, and here's a picture of what it looked like overlooking the lake. Yeah.
And there's a big photo of it.
Yeah. What's this?
That's a church.
That's the church we were looking at. It's had rebuilt. Okay, and yeah, it's just a larger image of what it looked like. It looked like it was walled as well. So we had the castle at one end, and then DRAWNO was actually walled all the way around. But there don't seem to be any remnants of this wall left. Ula's just pointed out this is when the castle was destroyed in 1758, so obviously a little well before the World War II, but it was destroyed by the Ruskies Okay, well, let's hope Putin don't knock over these two last remaining ruins. Almost left the car, ran out of petrol. Oh, it's a Maserati. Yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but we've got a brand of petrol stations which are Orlen even, yeah, Orlen, and they all sell hot dogs, yeah, every single one. And me and my stepdaughter are obsessed with them. Every time we pass one, we're stopping to get a hot dog. Yeah, just obviously we were saying it's Catholicism is the major religion around here. You do see a lot of crosses and crucifixes and what's the lady called? Mary's, Virgin Mary's. You know, I don't know how much religion's actually practiced here, but you know, there's still respect to the religion, shall we say? You know. All right. Okay, today is our last day in Poland, and Ula's brought me for a long walk around all the lakes around DRAWNO. We're having a proper look at DRAWNO today before we leave, and this is quite interesting. We've come across a retreat, and what it is, it's owned by a company responsible for fishermen apparently, and sailors and stuff like that, and as part of their employment package, they get a holiday here, like once or twice or who knows how many times a year, and they'll get to stay in one of these cabins next to the lake in the woods. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, that's one thing about Poland. So there's a lot of bitey insects, and because I'm English and I live in a place where there's no bitey insects, I ain't got the antibodies to protect against all the bites. So, like my thumb, I don't know if you can see it, but that's swollen, bitten here. I counted last night, I've got about 12, 13 bites all over me. Yeah, it was raining last night a little bit. I came out for a vape, went to the toilet and went out for a vape at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and it was very misty. I had a real ethereal look, didn't get any footage of it. Yeah, come out today and it's all burnt off. It's a nice sunny day, it's about 27 degrees. We've reached a little campsite next to the river, actual river Drava. So yeah, parents have got a flat near the lake. Obviously a river feeds the lake, and this is it.
That's the lazy part of the.
Yeah, so there's a lot of water activities. You can hire kayaks and paddle boats and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, and you just come up and down the river, and yeah, Ula's saying this is the easy side. It's nice and calm. It's lovely. The water's very clear. See out there, the weeds. Yeah, you'd want to be careful with these weeds. You want to fall out and get your leg tangled in them, would you? So this is the inlet for the lake. If you notice, the water's running down and the lake's down there. And then there's a more of a rapid river, which is the outlet, which I don't know if we'll make it to. I think we will. I think we're walking all the way around the lake, so I'll show you that in a second. Okay, scratch that. Apparently it will take us literally all day, like 4 or 5 hours to walk around the entire lake, so I don't think we're going to see the outlet of the river. I'm just going to walk back now. Yeah, a lot of the soil around it, so there's so much greenery, but the actual soil itself is very sandy. I were asking my in-laws like if the ship's this sand in, because you'll see a lot of just like purposed beaches, you know, just very sandy areas and then just surrounded by grass. But apparently this is just the soil, there's just a lot of sand here. I wonder if this part of the world was covered by ocean at one point, it's just all been deposited in here. But I'm just surprised to see so much greenery growing out of the sand. We just spotted a dragonfly landing on a piece of grass over here. I wonder if we can slowly approach it so I can actually get some footage of it. Oh, there he goes. Over the fields and far away. Okay, so we're done in Poland. We're going home now. On the way to the airport. I just thought I'd just capture this real quick. So this is a typical Polish road. It's just wide enough to get two cars passing, but we'll pass, like there's a car coming here, we'll pass them at full speed, yeah, because we're confident in Poland. Another interesting thing is the amount of trees you get at the side of the roads. Like look here, you know, all the roads, all the countryside roads are like this, with trees right on the edge of the road. Yeah, you can imagine in England how many complaints there would be, you know, oh it's dangerous having all these trees, look all these things you can crash into, yeah, but it's just different here. It's not a problem. People are sensible, people use their heads, keep their eyes open, and there's no problems, yeah. There's only problems when you stop paying attention. Yeah, one last sunset in Poland. It's quite beautiful, this one. The camera doesn't really do it justice. Yeah, miles and miles and miles of fields, flat fields, just everywhere in Poland. Yeah, you've either miles and miles of forest or miles and miles of field. A good example of the Polish fields. Yeah, this is a typical Polish field, and look at the blooming size of it. No fences, no nothing. There we go. It's just the last of the sun before we go.
Having a dog by yourself.
Okay, we've arrived at Kaleniów airport. It's only very small.
You gave birth to me.
Kind of got a nautical look.
Skręć w lewo. Następnie.
It looks like in Roblox, and there's those like little things that you can build and climb. And then you just climb, and then like a ladder.